Good. Enjoying the show?
Welcome back, guys. So this one is going to be about Tweedy Pie 2, Piero de Luca's creation. I got a chance to film an interview between him and Noah Norwood, the Hot Rod Kid. And Noah gave me permission to use the footage, which he's also going to be uploading to his channel. So it's worth checking out. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to both of these guys. Their links are in the description below.
Why the video and audio quality just got way better all of a sudden? That's because I was about to shoot this and Piero's like, what the hell are you doing? So he hooked me up, and then our buddy over here with Trad Rod Customs, he hooked us up as well. So we're here with Piero. De Luca's the right way to pronounce it. Yeah. I haven't been doing it wrong this one.
No, you're right.
And we got Harrisonville back over here. And so tell us a little bit about what we have here, Tweedy Pie.
Tweedy Pie is a 6-year obsession of being insanely obsessive compulsive about a purple car that was built in 1954 and finished in 56 by Bob Johnson. Became a famous model kit in the 60s through Ed Roth when he owned it, and a series of events caused me to build a clone of it, and it literally ate my brain, and it almost killed me, and my dogs don't like me anymore, and my bank account is empty, and all my friends hate me a little bit more actually. But now I think I'm redeemed being here at the show. So yeah, we just got it done, and it's Tweedy Pie.
Awesome. So how long ago did you start the project?
It was before COVID. I think we started building the chassis right around COVID. It all just stemmed about over a T-body that my friend Lucky Burton got me. I built this one behind us, Livewire, and I was kind of done with it. And Lucky said, if you don't build a car, I'm going to have to kick you out of the club. So he gave me a T, and I wasn't really ready to build a car. I was just kind of like, I'll put it in my backyard and like maybe put some plants around it or something, and maybe one day. But yeah, being a hot rod guy, 3 days later I was ordering parts and just kind of coming up with a concept. And I always liked Tweedy Pie. I saw it in Detroit back in the days, and I fell in love with it when it was like 2005 when it first came back out, and I was like, someday, man, that thing is rad. I'd love to build a little T-bucket. And so when this came around, I was like, well, maybe I'll do something like that, maybe like a Mark Skipper T. You know, his T is really bitchin', it's one of my favorites. I was like, something in between that real short wheelbase. And I went behind the back of Bobby Walden's shop, the great Bobby Walden, and he had these 32 rails that were cut, and they were short, and they were all like exactly where they were cut. The car is on a 32 chassis originally, and I'm sure as hell not going to spend $3,000 on a 32 chassis for a $500 T-bucket. So it was kind of like, oh damn, what are you doing with those? He's like, that's just scrap. Just take them, get them out of my shop. I've been kicking them. And then, you know, being a producer of films and stuff, the light bulb came on, and it was like, let's do like just a whole documentary about this car. And the more I did stuff with it, the more stuff like opened up about the history of it. And I had done a DVD back in the days called The Car That Ate My Brain with Von Franco, and it was the story of Norm Grabowski's Kooky car. And Von Franco cloned it in the 70s. But then he cloned it in the 2000s, and he did an earlier version called the Lightning Bug. And so when this came up, I was like, well, hold on a second. I know these two cars were together back in the days, and they were all buddies. And there's photos of them all together. And it turns out that this was actually supposed to be the Kooky car.
Right, in the show.
In the show, yeah. So like Norm's car came in second because it was contracted by Warner Brothers to be the Kooky car, and they didn't want the actors to drive it, so Bob Johnson tore up the script, and then Norm got the gig, so his car became the Kooky car. So that alone was this tie-in, and so I named the series Car That Ate My Brain, and I've been pumping that on our YouTube channel for, well, this will probably be episode 20, 21, 22, it depends how many.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of at the finale of it after like 6 years of, yeah. I got to interview the son of Bob Johnson.
Yeah, you had access to the car, right?
Yeah, so I did a lot of work with Galpin and their collection, and with Dave Shutton. And fortunately, yeah, that was my office, is that building with several $1 million worth of America's greatest customs ever built. Tweedy Pie being one of them, I used to go there when they first bought it, and the first thing I did is I ran in and I would sit in it. Every time I'd go sit in it, and it was like, damn, Ed Roth and all these guys, like they're big dudes, and this thing is really comfortable. And it was like I couldn't stop thinking about it to the point where it ate my brain.
Yeah, because you're a tall guy.
Yeah, I'm 6'2" and a half. I was a little heavier, but I had a little situation. I had a major heart attack recently, so I survived it, and I got thin, thankfully. So I fit in it really well because, Ed was probably 6'5", 4", and a good solid 300, 220, 240. I don't know where the hell they used. He was a big daddy. So, and Bob Johnson too. Bob Johnson was like 6'4". He was kind of a skinny, tall guy. So if you look at photos with them, they're all just comfortable as can be, right? So I fit perfectly. It's got this big windshield too, which is great. Cruise behind it. So we've been thrashing, and
Harrison back here.
Yeah, Harrison. We could talk about the build a little bit.
Harrison, do you hate Piero after all this?
No, I love it.
It's hard to not love Piero. Everybody loves Piero.
Yeah, right. Thanks. I love you guys.
I hate it and love it. Equally, but after a good week or so,
yeah. I think the hatred for me is not so much hatred; it's more frustration. That's what I was telling Yvette. I said my wife Yvette, everybody's frustrated with me, and I get it. I'm frustrated with me too. I'm frustrated not having sleep.
we're just tired.
We're just tired,
and just no days off.
Yeah, when you get a bunch of cranky men that are trying to get a goal. Lucky's words in my last episode was like, "We're getting it to Grand National, hell or high water." So anytime he would say, I'd be like, "Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't do that time-wise, like hell or high water." And I'm like, "Fuck your hell or high water."
So, my experience with working and building on cars is, I'm sure there was probably like a really long period where you guys just got completely sick and tired of even looking at the car.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I don't even want to look at it anymore. I'm just disgusted.
Yeah.
So, bringing it here, when you got the display all set up, you're relaxing, it's done. Did you guys even get to have that moment of like, hey, we did it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that when we kind of parked them and walked out a little bit, we were like, damn it, the drive-in. So the whole drive-in thing, we didn't really think was going to happen. The funny story of this is that we were at the shop all thrashing, and we're not really engine guys. I mean, I tinker a little bit, and Lucky isn't either, and Harrison knows a little bit. But it wasn't running right, and things weren't timed right. And our friend Aaron showed up with a van that we haven't seen in 5-6 months. I don't even know how long. And he's in a 70s van with a cat on his shoulder. And he gets out and he's in a helicopter uniform or something, and with a cat coveralls. And so he comes in, he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And he's like Stromberg Chevy expert. And so he came in and fiddled with it a little bit, and it was dialed. So we were like, "Oh shit, we could actually drive it in." And getting a trophy is cool and getting all the high praises, but the goal was to do exactly what we did the other day, was just to park it into the spot and then wash your hands with it.
Yep.
And so, now it's just getting it dialed in. Harrison and Gambino. Harrison did most of the paint and everything. Gambino came in and did some of the body and stuff. I flew him in to have some comic relief, and
It's just, we needed everything we could get.
Yeah, and Gambino is down with the guys at Ace of Shades, so they helped us with the paint, and what better to have Alex come out and help us with the paint, because he knows it so well. So it was crazy, man. How long did you spend on the paint? It was 3 weeks?
And then we got hit with those crazy winds and fires, and we had a tarp whip up in the middle of the night, and the little eyelets on the tarp chipped the whole back of the frame. After everything was painted, cut, buffed.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And we're like, oh, of course it's only going to be the spot that's seen, right?
Yeah.
So, we had to sand that back out, repaint that. We had to paint the headlights 3 times because there's just some kind of contaminant that was just making it wrinkle every time we shot it. We had to take it all the way to bare metal, redo that.
The upholsterer, Willie, our upholsterer guy, was cool. He worked with Roth in the 90s, and it was cool to have his story. He's a really eccentric guy, but he poked a couple holes almost through the door. So we had to luckily Harrison was still painting, so we had to redo the door. And then we had some bones underneath that we we had them set when we built the car as a mock-up, but then when we got everything back, I had to do some altercations on them and beef them up, but we never cut the lengths of them. But when we went to put them on, one was about a half-inch shorter, somehow. So we had to cut the ends off, re-weld it, bring it back to Harrison to repaint, bring it back, put it back on. This is all within like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of getting the car done. So.
Yeah, he's still a little sticky.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's had time. Yeah, and then Dave Shutton from Galpin, who also he did all the pinstriping, which was cool because he has the original car there, so he was able to take, actually trace the actual pinstriping and do it on the car. So that was pretty rad. So
that's awesome.
There's just a lot. I mean, the list of people I have that are involved, I have to sit down and really think about it because there's so many people that either gave a part or came and helped or were major influences. Robert Ruiz. He came in and he gave me a clutch a long time ago, and I couldn't figure out the clutch plate situation. And he dropped everything and came and bolted up the transmission for us and got it all the linkage working out on a Sunday. Like it was like everybody just. Dennis Lacey did all the brakes and the rear end build. So I just tried to get as much people that I know involved so I can get it done, as fast as we could. So like while the rear end is getting done, he's painting, the chrome is out there, and this guy's doing that, and I was basically project managing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm glad the project's over because I'm tired of project managing. So yeah, that's where we're at. We made it, and happy to be alive. Happy that you're here. Always glad to see you.
Yeah,
and,
car looks great.
Thank you, man.
Congrats to both of you and everybody involved. Yeah. So where can people find you again?
Well, I'm Mad Fabricators on the Instas and all the others. Mad_Fabricators. You can see our channel at youtube.com/Mad Fabricators TV, or if you just look up Tweedy Pie or any of the other Mad Fabricator stuff, that will come
Harrison
up.
back here.
Harrison back here.
I'm Harrison a little bit on Instagram.
He sure is.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
And
Yeah.
we got a 27 T Coupe coming up.
Yep.
And I'm gonna return the stress.
Yep.
Yeah, that's different stress though, because I can just
It's
leave.
true.
I'm not getting divorced, so it's like, it's like, yeah, I could just leave when I have to, and I'm not
Fair
spending
enough.
the money.
Fair
So
enough. We got a little bit of a head start on that. Too,
Yeah.
So.
yeah, that one, that one's cool. And then I'm gonna do a little quick series with my friend John, Funky Junk Farms John, who lost his whole entire place in the fires recently, and the only thing that survived was his old truck that he just bought and the Survivor T that was at our shop. So it's a cool story, and we filmed this whole place because he had this really great place from the 20s, and it burnt down sadly. So I had filmed the whole story of the place right before that. So it's kind of got this weird turn. We'll see what happens with it, but I pray for my brother, and I'm glad that he got his car still. So, but yeah. So anyways, and then there's live wire back there, but that's a whole another world.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching.
See you on the flip side.
Piero did win a first place trophy for, I believe, pre-31 open car. And it was totally rad. It was really cool to be there for that. I've been watching this build since it first started, and it was neat to get to meet Piero and hang out with him and Lucky at Lucky's shop and hear some stories and be a part of this interview. So definitely subscribe to these guys in the link below. Also appreciate if you guys subscribe to me. Lots of great channel growth lately. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And it was an awesome trip. Lots more of them planned for this year. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.